And I was like, you know, if you don't just calm down, we're gonna lose the whole center. Lost the whole center. Ugh. Ah. People who complain too much in this game. I don't even have anything for this one. We gotta go make a folder. Opinions. Let's do Restless Woods. I think Restless Woods is a map we get enough that I need people to understand what to do. Yeah, as the solo, as like the 1v1 player, there are LMGs. Okay, we gotta write it in white, so we caught ourselves. Yeah. There are LMGs right here, right? There are grenades right here. Actually, you could do that, Kurt. That is actually an option. A lot of the time, for some ungod reason, if this player does not get this LMG, this player can come over and take it. Every time. For no reason. It baffles me. You want to kind of come out here. You want to fight for that. I mean, you don't really have to fight for it, but yeah. You want to contest this freaking thing. Like, please. Please, 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 please contest. Actually, you could do that. You could come over here, get these okay, actually, you know what? We're going to do these as an option. These are an option. You can come down here, get the resource crates. Come over here, get the flag, come sit back on cover. Or you can just come back over here, buckle down, and defend, right? And then build barracks with your engine with one engineer. Get this. Like, there are things you want to keep in pace. You want to keep the motion going. You don't want to fall too far behind. As the other ally, who is also a weird shade of pink, because I fucked up my colors. Contest. Contest. Actually, scratch that. They can do that as an option. If your ally says to take it, take it. Right? Don't instinctively think as a middle player you deserve the grenades, because you don't. You really don't. As we said earlier, if the opponent does not take their LMG, go for it. Oh yeah. Yeah. We're not done. This is also something they need to have. Also, as the mid guy, your job is to also go for this and contest this flag. As the mid guy, you have essentially two flags that you're supposed to kind of be in control of. One flag is like a shared baby, though, which is where we get orange. Orange, boom, boom, boom. Then you run over, boom, boom. Spearhead this thing. Or if you're a nice teammate, you know, you'll help over here. As a mid player, though, we're going to show what happens on the other side, because this map is symmetrical enough that you should be able to understand that whatever happens on one side can work for the other side. So we're going to show for this side how this goes out. Goes, 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 rallies back up, right? Simple enough. Green player sends their engineer to get the iron mine, but sends both core infantry straight over here. Now this is what a lot of people will cry about, whine about, freak out about. Double teamed me. Get over it. If they want to be greedy for that hill, you go fight them somewhere else. Like, there are other places to fight. Also hacking. It just gets so annoying. Build a barracks. come over here, get that. Right? If you want to be if you want to be a super, super good teammate, get this, contest. Get this, contest. And then build a barracks, get that. And then you can get this. Then, for some reason, if every time I get hit with a bad teammate, their first response is, my team is so bad. Looks at stat screen, did absolute jack off the entire game. It's wildly annoying. Because now, watch this. We're gonna just like demonstrate with circles here. Say this side spearheads this. This player gets overwhelmed. He is now pushed back over here, crying for help. This guy can take this whole side of the map, uncontested. I want everyone to understand this. You know that if this player is pushed over here, as long as he is holding this side of the map, you can push this whole other side of the map uncontested. Back cap. Do something other than like talk. Let your teammate know that he needs to be back capping. If he is not back capping and he's just crying that the game's over and he's the middle player, tell him to go back cap. Tell him to upgrade his resource nodes. Tell him to do anything other than complain. They just have to get that through their thick heads. Because complaining 90% of the time isn't going to cut it. You're just going to get a teammate who quits halfway through the game. Every time. It's super annoying. We should also put the fact that there is a giant destroyer cannon here. It covers to right about here. This is the range of the destroyer cannon for anyone that doesn't know. It can cover this whole area. Like, it pretty much covers the whole center. That's why people fight for the top island so hard and will cry a lot. That is also very true. It's a very good thing this is also in the video. But back cap. Let me go show back capping. We're going to go put this as back capping. Send people around the map. Send them here. Go for this. You guys want to know the most toxic thing I've ever done? If you actually want to know what I did to deserve all these lulls, if you fight me on this map, I will build a base right here. I will use Olga, I will build a bunker, and I will literally just build a base in between you and your allies. The entire time on your oil pump. I won't actually play the game. I will only be building that. Only the entire game. And the thing is, this back cap goes the other way too. Like, believe it or not, but back capping is extremely easy on this map. I do not care what anybody tells me. Okay, if the enemy is like super aware of it, fine, you got me. But most of the time, are you really going to be certain that they're guaranteeing like not paying attention to the giant fight that they're super heartfelt about up here? No, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Let us also just go say what these guys are, these openings. So for this yellow player, this is pick me up. And by pick 'em up opening, I mean you're kind of picking up the slack of the middle player because the middle player he went early aggressive. So we're gonna put this. Let's just put this. Team A. I spelled team wrong, didn't I? God, look at me. Team A. Team B. We're gonna change this up so this makes more sense because I want everyone to follow along here. Just so everyone is clear, what is Team A? Because for some reason, some people don't understand who their team is. A lot of pent-up anger I've had about this in team games. That's why I can't play too many randoms in one day. I'll lose my mind. Team A. As demonstration, Team A did early aggression. Damn it, we spelled everything wrong again. Early hill aggro. I wonder how this map would feel if solo lane teams were swapped. Oof. Oof. You don't want to know. if I was the pink player and I was on team A, I would decimate, okay? I would whoop ass, low key, cuz I'd become a dickhead. I would go and wire my ally. I would bunker my enemies into their base. I did. I talked about the last 4 1v1 maps, Killacan. And now I'm moving on to the rest of the team games I need to cover. So we're doing 3s because 3s are the only maps I haven't actually covered. Interchangeable. We need to write that down. I need to put that as a note. Openings are interchangeable. And by interchangeable, I mean whatever Team A does, Team B can do. This map is symmetrical. It doesn't stop. I want fourth 3v3. Okay, I got you. Let's go do that one then. We'll just go hop over to that one. Because that one's a bit more complicated. And by a bit, I mean like hella more complicated, so... Whew, let's jump into that one then, shall we? You guys want to see how BS it is? Went up against a rank 3 guy yesterday in 1v1. He whooped my ass, so I feel like I need to get a hang of this. I got you. I'm trying to be less confusing than I was the first time, because I'm definitely going to have to redo all of the maps that I did. Because we kind of got hella confusing. Okay, this is the map. Deep freeze, right? Let me show you some bullshit on this map. That pisses me off. What color should I use for this? You know what, we'll use a... Is this a good color? Oh yeah, this is a nice color. Okay. This will be the color I show grenades. You know, yellow snow. So, there's grenades here. Grenade. 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 There is a field cannon. There is a field. Just realize this doesn't tell me where any of the resource nodes are. Does anyone have a picture of this with the resource nodes by chance? Or am I just going to have to go open up a game? Oh yes, heals packs. There is medkit. 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 This is like the most convoluted map ever too. It's kind of confusing. Let me go pull up something so that we can actually see, shall we? Because I need to know where the... Did they ever fix it actually? No, they did not. Oh my god. I just need the map. We just gotta go check the map real quick, because I don't remember where all the nodes are. You know, for each spot. Exactly pinpoint. They don't pay me enough. I know that like right here and right here is like oil on both sides. I know that there's an iron mine. No, it's iron mine, oil, iron mine, iron mine. It's weird. This map is just weird in general. So we have to go get the picture. While that is loading, let us figure out what else is there on this map. What else is I'm gonna be honest with you, Kurt-chan. This is 100% experimental openings, though, because like these are all over the place. Come on, game. Come on. Stick with me. Stick with me. Okay. Let me write this down on a sticky note. You know what? We're just gonna take a picture. This will be easier. We'll just take a picture. Oh yeah, because we're that good. We're that good at this game. Dear God, this is so convoluted. Okay, let's leave this match. I don't want to tell people to like try to avoid playing on this map because you know you're gonna have to if you play 3v3 ranked or 3v3 quick. But if you do customs, I would say avoid this map kind of. It's because it gets, for me, it's like weird and confusing as hell. There's so much going on, as Kurt said. So, it's a very symmetrical map. Rush for grenade. Let me see where the iron is. Let's just go right down where all the resource nodes are in white, shall we? So this is an iron mine. This is an oil. This is an iron. This one's an oil. So much crap to pick up. Yes, Kurt. Yes. Usually whoever actually gets center, I'll show you something that I thought was pretty toxic in just a moment. Or at least like, you know, pretty dominating factor on this map. Okay. And then they have oil. See, now this is something I never understood. This is like one dominated resource site. Okay. Where is it? Let me put it in blue. Right here, if you set up artillery or a mortar facing inward and you captured that flag, you have now solidified your control of that flag for most of the game. Like, unless they build air, and even then, yeah, no, literally, mortars alone can reach it. Like if a mortar can reach it, everything can reach it, pretty much. It's, like, it gets pretty toxic after a little bit. But if you can build a mortar there, you can solidify that. Like, I'll probably just put this in right now as an arty position. This is one of the few maps that has, like, an actual designated arty thing. Sometimes my arrows go stupid. And it only takes one. It only takes one. It doesn't have to be anything special. It just has to be one simple mortar. And you will, for some reason, just solidify that entire thing. Like a freaking dog. Usually what I do is I come over here, and test. And test. Well, Kurt, we don't want people to know it right off the bat, do we? Fine, we'll put bright... No, we can't put bright pink. I just remember this already there. Fine. No, that did not help. That did not help in the slightest, actually. We're going to leave it as blue. You know what, Kurt? We're going to leave it as blue. People can cry about it all they want. They go and try to figure out colors for a map. There's a few ways to go about this. This player... Now, this is where it gets interesting. At least from my point of view. Let me finish actually putting in all of this. This green is actually horrible on this map. It's just atrocious. We cannot. We're gonna find a better color. This is like riding on board a river, but now I have to think of like 3 different colors. So green is now brown. If they're now brown. Brown is also not a good color. Are you serious? Ugh. You ready to use this green? We can just use this green. Be the ultimate target. Oh my gosh. You could barbed wire actually, and it becomes really annoying. Oh, this green works. Yeah, you can come over here, send this guy, engineer, over here, or you send the engineer to the other side and pick up the grenade. And then kind of just push in for center. These guys can, you know, help. Or they can, you know, fight for the center. But since this map is symmetrical, I'm going to show, you know, a more generic, more balanced support middle. And then we're going to show what it looks like whenever there's not a balanced support middle. This whole thing just gets so convoluted. If you really want to, if one of these players get their barracks out early enough, build a barracks, send the engineer to get this. Like, it's a lot. Oh my god, water. Do I even have water? Yeah, I do. I do have water. Oh yeah. What is the best way to go about this? If you want my honest opinion on this map, for what to do, it's going to be double teaming. You're going to have to double team one player. Every time. I don't care if the other player complains like a fucking lunatic about it. It can grow up. You'll come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Contest. Contest. Your other ally. You will get this. Oh, that is an ugly, wrong pointing arrow. He will come over here. He will get this. He will get this grenade. No, you know what? It's not an option. He's going to get that grenade. He will go and fight for that grenade. He will then pick a side, and he will send all of his units to support that one guy. Of course, this rifleman's on his own, so he can kind of, you know, go and support. Won't even pay attention to mid. Completely ignore mid. Mid, irrelevant, actually. Actually, I do need. All orange has to do in this position, and pay attention to this, because this is, believe it or not, sometimes you don't always have to be aggressive in this game. All orange has to do, take his iron. You know what? We're going to actually just go talk about something for. Take this oil. Try to take a grenade. Contest. That's all he has to do. That's all he has to do. Like, he doesn't have a very big job in this. His job is to hold. Hold. Just hold. Now, the reason I drew arrows was because if you come over here, technically, this player could also just go and throw their other rifleman straight into this. Right? So we're going to just boop, boop, and boop. If you communicate this early enough in like, you know, before the game, if you're a pre-made team, or if you tell someone early on at like the start of the match, you'll be able to solidify this pretty well. But, or this guy can send all of his units to just come over here. right? Like, we're gonna put this. Optional path. Guess we should also. Does black look good on this? No, you can't. You can barely even see black. I love how you can see white better on this map than you can see anything else. Oh, my bad. I keep forgetting that the pen doesn't show up. Kind of just hoping that you guys see the arrows. So, I'm trying to use colors here. It's not really working out too hot, is it? This would be their NG. It makes it look like it's part of the map, and I don't want. Okay, so we're just going to do a quick rundown of what I want. So, orange player. The top left. He goes for an iron. Optional goes for the oil. And then comes contest and, like, come help and, like, contest for this oil. He also sends his initial infantry to get oil, his initial engineer to get the grenade. Given you communicate with the middle player on either side, if they say that they're gonna go help on one side exclusively, so they follow this dotted path up here, the top right one, and they go top heavy with one player or one side heavy, like left or right side heavy, then you can take the oil. You kind of just sit there and contend by yourself while they go and rush and hardcore push. Opposite side of the flipboard, if your team is, you know, say you're the balanced team and you guys kind of don't really know each other, you all do your own 1v1 thing. Middle player is strictly support here. They help wherever they are needed. If someone's getting two teamed, most of their troops go over there, or 90%. Yee. Ooh. You don't. Oh no, we're not gonna do cheap wire tricks right now. Yes, we are. No, we're not. No, we're not. No. We'll stop. We won't do wire tricks in 3v3s. We'll let people figure those out on their own. Because that's more exciting in 3v3s. 1v1s, it's a bit better. Bunkers and wires on this map are actually great. If you can put a bunker on this bridge right here, if you're on either of the corners and you put a bunker on your own bridge, and you're just trying to defend, they can't push infantry through there. Light mechs, as Kurt Chan, cannot go through. You've essentially kind of cut them off. You could wire it, of course, because that'd be cheaper. If you just kind of want to get the kills, I'd go with bunker. There's some cheeky wiring that you could do in the center as well, bunker-wise. You could call in paratroopers back here on the mortar line if you have a Sonian player on your team to take out those. Early game wire is always nice, but I don't think enough players could handle doing the wire while still trying to, like, you know, macro their units. Not to be rude to anybody, but genuinely from what I see from newer players is they get overloaded just from, like, the macro game alone or the /micro game. And I don't want to put too much stress on a player, you know, think that they have to do something. It's nice. It's a nice benefit. Oh, well, just think of this video for, like, most brand new / still coming up players. The wiring is more of an advanced thing for people who have been playing this since forever. But for this map, it's more or less a 2v1 the entire game, and then at a certain point turns into a 3v1 if you're not careful. You want whoever your player is that like is going to be fighting on their own to be the best player on your team. So whoever's the best at, like, you know, 1v1s and 1v2s / 1v3s, you want them. Oh yeah, Groza. Actually, here we can go do a little strategy talking just for a little bit. Here, if you have Rusviet, your best counter to the mortars on the ledge, Groza, Olga, of course. If you're Saxony, hate to break it to you, it's going to be a long and painful adventure for you. Unless your Earl reaches over there, which I don't think it does, sadly. Does it? If it does, if your Earl can reach the other side, never mind. Take back everything I say. If it can't, long, suffering life for you. Usonia, You have Sita as a hero. Easy. You have paratroopers as a counter. Polania, Schmowies, Meowies, Meowies, more Schmowies, etc. Um. Oh, and Zols, yeah. I guess we'll put in Juves. Juves also fit. I will go interchangeably with pronouncing everything wrong, just for everyone's forte. Um. Yeah, pretty much just any fast moving unit or any stealth unit or any call-in unit that you can put in work wonders on getting rid of those Artie. It's still risky because the middle player can respond to you and usually will respond. And if they respond, you have to get in and out really quick, otherwise you're going to start losing stuff a lot. Where is another thing that is I should think people should know? Do not be afraid to lose map control here. This is one map where I think map control is not life or death. Like, you could lose, I want to say, all the way over to here. Like, you could lose from this flag, you could lose all the way down to your oil. Shit, you could lose the whole island, right? But you still have all of this. And if you still have an iron, a contested flag, and a contested oil with your own home nodes, you'll be okay. It's not the end of the world. It's whenever you lose more than half of the map that you should start being worried. That the game is starting to come to an end. And starting to probably not be in your favor. Unless you guys are sitting on some like crazy reserves that the enemy's not prepared for. We should also go put another mention. I forgot to go pick that up, didn't I? Or write it up. Openings. Okay, we're just gonna put one. Okay, that did not help. That was just a stupid idea. We'll come over here, we'll put 1, 2, 3. Orange is not the one player. Is it the one player? I don't remember how this one works. I think this one was 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Lord. We would be actually playing the game, but I kind of need to get these made because I've been slacking on it. You always just want to keep in mind who is who on the game. Everyone's colors are completely different. I need to make that more apparent because I don't think I did that last time. Because I only covered 2v2s, but everyone's colors are different, so as I think Kurchan was telling me earlier. Be more specific on what you're talking about. Like, say the location on the map. Say what player it is. Say what faction they are. Get nitty and gritty with the details there. Just, enough. Because it does get hella confusing. Team A did a more one-sided push. One-sided push. Team B. And please do not think that this means that Team A always has to do this and Team B always has to do this. This is just more so I can kind of help orchestrate what each team is doing, so it's easier for me just to say what it is. Team B did a more, we kind of just know each other. We're more of a 1v1. 1v1 in team approach. And Team B will be highly dependent on their support player. Team B will depend on their support player a lot. Almost all the stress will be on the support player to help where needed, help across the board. We're just going to come over here. We're going to save this because now we're done. Enough. We've done enough to where it looks really complicated because there's just no resource nodes already pre-populated. This should help get people to a nice little area. Oh, well, you know what? We'll do... Oh, hello, Mackie. So we already did the 1v1 maps. Howdy. Yeah, we already did the 1v1 maps, so now I gotta go do the 3v3s. And now this is another one that becomes really, really one-sided, really quick. Oh, we did it again. Did it again. Big Brain Babito, thank you. Thank you. Here is Team B. Okay. This is probably one of the more simple maps, I want to say, but can get really annoying really fast if people do it right. Player B is in charge of these. If I was to draw this, this is literally a lane map. Lane, lane. This player is your support, right? This is just a general quick look. And I'll explain more on that as we start drawing it all out for generic opening. This is definitely a more generic opening. We'll leave it at that. Contest. Contest. No, contest. Right? Simple. Simple enough. You come over here to the other side of this argument. You're going to get hit with this player. Take. Take. Engineer. Go straight for the LMG. Actually, that should just be a straight line. We're just going to redraw that to be a straight line. Engineer. I will repeat this. Go straight for the LMG because we should probably put that on the map. Does anyone remember what side has the grenades by chance? Right side? Is it? So it would be this side? Okay. Thank you. And the crate is usually. Hello, Mugpug. This is where I think stuff can get interesting. And left because NGs, why not? Yeah, okay. Let's also let people know that this has engineers and you should probably just avoid this one. So, wait, pink? Oh, wait, hold up. It's only on the left? It's not symmetrical? Ooh, never mind, never mind. I see what you mean now. Thank you for that catch up. That makes perfect sense. But it doesn't. That is a whole thing, isn't it? I know, it doesn't make any sense at all, but we're just going to kind of pretend it does. So yeah, like I said, so orange doesn't change at all. This player always aggroes the center flag for as early as possible. Build a bunker up there for all I care. You know? Get the center flag and then pick a side. You know? This is a horrible arrow, and I wanted to do a spearhead, but it didn't look right, so we're just going to put options. Optional. Go support this player. Optional. Go support this player. You know, like, get some stuff. Oh yeah, King Art likes to do some weird stuff with their weapon crates that I'm not a big fan of. Like, I think Oil Spill is currently broken. I don't remember if they fixed it. Someone should check, though. Is it? So basically, don't be a central. Yeah, don't be a central dickhead and try to fight in the center on Great Waste. Fighting in the center on Great Waste is like kicking yourself in the shin repeatedly and then wondering why it hurts, but you're kicking yourself in the shin. And you're asking other people why it hurts. It doesn't make logical sense to do that. You come over here, you get these, you know. Send your engineer, then go. And test. And test. Test. Exactly, exactly. There is nothing to fight for in the mid. It is literally just a flag. And if it's drop zone, it's just an oil pump. And I hate to break it to you, that one oil pump isn't as game changing as people make it out to be. Well, we had to be the explain train because in team games, people seem to not understand what is happening. And it upsets me exponentially. Oh, my bug. It's okay. This will just be, you know, beneficial. There are resource crates as too, I should have said. On the edges of this little island, there is a little iron resource crate. There's like, yeah, it's, I don't remember what side it is. I think it's like right here. Oh, iron resource crate. Exactly. I mean, we're not over here stressing out about anything. We're just kind of here to vibe. We're not vibing whenever people are trying to freaking cheese the hell out of me, though. Then I get kind of triggered. But, you know, for the most part. Oh, this is something I thought we should make apparent. Where is the white pen? I will punch everyone in the face that I play on a team game with. If you do not, as the center player, get the... It's not a field gun, is it? It's a destroyer cannon. A destroyer cannon. We're stupid. Get the goddamn destroyer cannon. If you do not, as a center player, do it, I will fight all of you. Oh, my room is dark because I have blackout curtains because I'm not a big fan of how bright it gets outside. I mean, if you want more light, we can make more light. I have lights everywhere. Literally. You know, we'll just turn on more lights, actually. Is this better for you, Kurt? Do you like the lighting? Jesus. Still +1 oil. I mean, +1 oil on that map, though. It just doesn't... Yeah, it's not healthy to be in the dark, but I live in way too bright of a state for me to care about being in the dark for too long. I'm also always outside, so I'm good. For love of Pete's sake, though. Center player, unless designated by another, unless told by someone on your team that they got the cannon, grab the goddamn cannon. Grab these. Grab these after, like, engineers. Build 2 engineers. Correction. Build a barracks. Then take them. Is that better? Does that make sense? Or medics. If you're Saxony, build medics. Yes, exactly. Do something to take it. What if I told you that my skin color is only this color because I go outside sometimes? See, I could get really albino looking and it's really nasty and I look sickly, but not nice. Okay, Mug Pug. We'll indulgence. We'll take a break from stream for a little bit, but I'm gonna write that down. Barracks. Build 2 NG medics and crew destroyer cannons. It's a pink shirt. I don't know what more you want. Over to the other side. This is a pink shirt. I mean, it's like salmon, but like it's pink. I'm not even from California. I don't even like California. I only have this because it was a nice long sleeve shirt that looked nice. Okay. Let's do this. Back to Great Waste. I'm just gonna keep eating actually. Is there really a different way to go about doing this as an opening? I mean, you're gonna have to pick a side. Map becomes a 2v1. We're just gonna put that up top. Yeah. Takes, right? If you have really bad teammates or really aggressive teammates, you take these. Now you come over here. Your teammate has taken 1 iron mine. He picked up grenades. He picked up his oil. He is now contesting with 2. Stretch and vibe. We gotta finish this. Feels pretty nice. Contest. While the yellow player does the exact same thing. This is mostly just promoting hyper aggression. My handwriting's actually really bad right now because I'm not used to writing. So, you make me feel self-conscious. We are going to rewrite this. Let's actually end up. Wipe my hand. Mugpug, I will be posting these, so it's okay. I put them all on the guide. I also will send them to you if you really want. Here, let's just do this. Promotes V1. Because eventually what happens is, we're going to show a little bit later what happens right after mid-game, is one player will have all, like this is a super aggressive. Team B did a super aggressive opening. Less resources, of course, but they will genuinely have more of like a foothold in an area than you do. What will happen is this player will spearhead for this guy, or he'll spearhead over here, right? That now means that there is 2 players on this side fighting 1. What happens to that 1 player is usually if they can't hold off by themselves, they tend to lose that side really hard. And the spearheading, like, it's not a problem. Like, I think people should learn to kind of deal with 2v1s. Because what I've noticed in a lot of 2v1s where people lose hard, like it's not just like normal, oh, they 2v1 me and I lost everything. It's like they got 2v1'd and they left all their troops outside of cover. They tried to fight the enemy on their side of the thing. They didn't let the, like, if you're getting 2v1, let the enemy come to you. Be in cover. Don't pick engagements. You can't pick the engagements anymore. You are now waiting for them and you're reacting. You're now a reactive player in a 2v1. Be reactive. Not volatile. That would be annoying. Let's just put this down here. Team A. Resource head. Team B is map aggression. That's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it map aggro. I don't really know how else it should be. Should be in a guide soon. Yeah, soonish. Hopefully I don't get lazy. So this is how this map usually turns into. This one player then suddenly goes to one side. So how do I do this? I want to say what will happen is, of course, you know, they're going to fight for the center. They're probably going to be really late. And if they're late, this is what happens, actually. This is all optional. This isn't even, like, guaranteed to happen. If they do carry their teammates for resources like that, what's going to happen is there's an option that they'll go there, right? There's not a guarantee. It is an option. They will most likely pick a side, stick with it. And this can be flip-flop, vertical, in between, horizontal, however you want to go about it. It is interchangeable behavior. It's kind of like you got to pay attention to like where the units are, because they usually got to run across to like a little ray of vision from the iron mine or oil. And you just got to kind of pay attention to where they're going. And as the center player, you should be the one to respond to this. If the enemy player starts 2v1ing on one side, you go to that side, or you go 2v1 on the other side. If you believe the player that's getting 2v1 can handle it, you go help the other player and push their other player. Every time. You gotta... Don't get stuck in the mindset of you have to always be the one to attack. You always have to be the one... Always have to be the one that's like being defensive. You can be aggressive when they're being aggressive. You just have to be ready for the consequences, though. Everything has risk and reward, you know. Except sitting there on your ass the entire match. That does not. Don't do that. That is bad. That is as far in depth as I want to get for Great Waste, though. Just don't sit on your butt too long. This is a map that I think people don't fully comprehend, because there is 5 VPs on this map. There's 5, to be exact. It's a little out there. It's a little crazy sometimes, and it does get a little out of control. I believe, where is the grenades? Was it closer to the city? Yes. This is too big of a handwriting. So, here you have grenade. Grenade. My screen shaver? Do you mean my wallpaper? This is my wallpaper right now. This is what we have. It is me with SpongeBob Patrick. Great wallpaper. I love it. Mortar. What is on the other side? Is it field cannons? It's field cannons. Yeah, I'm just vibing there. Vibing in the trench. So then we get field cannon. And we got to get people out of the habit of picking up field cannons like the first 2 minutes of the game. Field cannons are not great. It is HMGs. Thank you. I was thinking about what it was called. HMG. There we go. If we had a destroyer cannon on this map, I would punch myself in the face. That would be too much going on, or too much self-hatred going on. How do I want to put this for people to help understand? There's actually quite a few openings for this map that I think are really plausible, and they're not bad at all. But yeah, don't ever rush the early field cannon. I mean, as wonderful as it might be, early field cannon doesn't actually help you as much as you would think. Because who the hell has a mech out in the first 5 minutes? Actually, scratch that. Who has a mech out in the first 3 minutes? Because that's how fast some people be going for them field cannons sometimes. It's a little ridiculous. So you come over here. You get your iron and your oil. You have your engineer. Engineer should just be gunning it for that HMG. You can kind of support. Go about it. You know, there's a couple like this is not guaranteed set in stone amazing, but it's like you can be super lenient on your stuff here. Oh yeah, no. Stealing your opponent's field cannon comes clutch late game when they always forget about it. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff to see. And then you kind of just contest from here on out. You know, you kind of just like push out. And this is where I think some players get confused. Grabs that, right? Goes for flag. Middle player now has the option to go for HMG, or they go for the other HMG. They're kind of there to be like the backup pickup person. Like, you know, in case like they can, in case the ally can't pick it up, then you as a center player try to pick it up. You try to always, you know, keep going with it. Push out, push out. You're kind of just there to help solidify capturing something. This green player usually goes here, here, sends engineer there. Aggressive, aggressive, push out, city. Now, there's more on this. Yeah, I have it going the month first. I care more about the month than I do the day. The day could be irrelevant to me. How do I want to say this? This is the most... The opening I just showed is more of a, we don't know each other, we're all randoms, we kind of communicate, but not fully, or at all. There are gunner crates, actually. There are gunners. I think it's right here. It's payday. Man, you know what the most important day for me is? No day. I don't care when I get paid, if I get paid, and how I get paid. You guys get paid? God damn it. Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense. Comes over here, you know, we just vibe and get these. You know what? Actually, I want to show people what it looks like whenever a player does not give a fuck. When a player does not care about early resources and they're going straight for map control, they will send all 3 units. Their whole army will be going straight for that. The whole time. Why? I don't know. They really want that heavy machine gun. Is heavy machine gun that important and that game changing? Not always. It is a proper approach, but you lock mid and you lose the sides. And in my opinion, the sides are more important than anything. Because in the mid, you get what? 1 iron mine, 1 oil. Whereas the opponents are going to be holding the whole city, which has 2 VPs as well as mid. And the side VP. If you hold the mid, yeah, you got like 2 VPs, but again, the city also has 2 VPs and the forest has 1. So whoever holds the sides technically has more power than the center. Like, sure, as a center player, you can change the pace of the match. You can determine when people engage and you can force them to engage in like more towards the center by putting pressure on them. But what ends up happening here is you'll have to get out an engineer. You probably won't have enough resources to get a barracks out right off the bat, which is going to be hella annoying. You're going to be falling behind comparatively to your opponent. Your middle player is most likely just going to... Your middle player is either going to go straight for the resource nodes and flag and then help get HMG, or they're going to gun it with you. There is a good chance both players will completely gun it. And if both players completely gun for it, that HMG is lost. I hate to break it to you. Unless you got there way earlier than they did. Orange player will be doing the same. They will probably take, what, 1 of these on the way. But they're mostly gunning it for this. And you may not believe it, but a lot of people will like completely ignore resource nodes for the first 4 minutes of the game just to solidify field weapons. It's not the most amazing idea. It is a strategy though. Like if one player on your team does it, it's okay, but two players doing it starts to get a little debatable. If all three players go for field weapons early on and they lose all those engagements, you just kicked yourself in the shins and now you're down a whole 5 minutes worth of resources comparatively to your opponent. So what I often see is I see two players, typically the two that are actually closest to each other, I should say. The two closest to each other will just straight gun it for the... Nah, that's the iron mine. I meant to go for HMG. Oh, we fucked. All we wanted to do was press the eraser and we misclicked all the way. And they will just straight gun it for that, right? That's amazing. It's so much fun. They've now ignored all resource control, like I said earlier. And all they get to show for it is, sure, they lock down the center. Great, now you have the center. You have two VPs. You have 1, 2. Your opponent now has 1, 2, 3. And if they're smart and they don't push you too much towards the center and they don't push for the center as hard as you were hoping, they will lock down the side. It's super easy to like lock down the city, believe it or not. Once you kind of solidify your control in the city, the other player kind of has to either keep trying to push through and hope it works, or they need to start trying to backcap, which is something we need to go show people on this. I'm gonna go put backcapping. This is something I think players don't do enough. Say you lost city, right? You lost city. You no longer have any control over city. Instead of pushing for city, I want you to push... Say you're orange. I want you to push for this. I want you to rush for their iron mines. I want you to get their oil. I want you to try to steal this. Fight outside the city. Make them literally have to leave the city. If they leave the city, great for you. If they put a bunker in the city, it's a little bit different. There is 3 entryways. You can enter here, here, and here. Shit, most of the time they're so worried about bunkering up on one side, you can backcap their oil from there too. Like, I just need people to realize that they're, like, don't get stuck in one strategy as the go-to strategy. Change it up. Be prepared to be reactive. Say you're yellow. They've solidified city. Great. So then you just go around city. Take the iron. If the iron doesn't work, take the oil. If the oil doesn't work, go to the iron. If the iron doesn't work, go to their other oil. And if that doesn't work, just keep going for all their other resources. There's like tons of possibilities here. We haven't even talked about mortars yet, have we? We're gonna put this in red. I want people to see this part. This is a bit different. We're gonna show it from Orange's perspective. But say Orange went heavy rush for mortar. They have now taken one mortar. That one mortar is aiming out. Right? Like it's stopping your infantry progression. They've used one storm to take an iron mine. They push out more. They go and try to take the other one. Someone is always going to do this every single time. Don't fight in the mortar's area. If you know that they took a mortar, avoid the mortar fire. Like, just don't fight on their side of that area. You have to fight around it. It's stupidly aggressive, but it works. So we're just gonna call this for rush. We're gonna go and put blue as two-player rush. G. Yeah, it's honestly because he wants to show people how stupid mortars are, and they are extremely dumb. Like for a little bit, I don't remember what it was like right before a like what right before one of the patches, like way back in what was it, April? Mortars for some reason were no longer hitting targets super accurate, and then we got another patch. And suddenly mortars were like the most accurate thing in the world and had all the high damage and splash damage that was already in the last patch. It made it impossible to rush it. It made it impossible to push. You will lose half your army every time if you blob. In fact, if you blob, you'll lose 90% of your army. Like, your squads will barely be alive. Yeah, we'll show them what it looks like. You know, kind of just like you pretty much just like explode into the city. Let's see here. Now, this map can turn into anything. This map is actually a map where you could fight for the center as a center. Map has lots of options. It can become a 2v3, it can become a 2v1 really fast. It can become a 2v2 really fast. It can become a 1v1 really fast. It just really depends on, I guess, your communication with your team, the team's, what everyone's good at, what you guys know you guys can do, and versus what you know you can't do. Like, if you know you're probably going to lose an early game engagement, change your strategy accordingly. Don't keep trying to make the early game strategy work, because you'll keep throwing units at something that's just going to keep failing. And I've seen it across everyone's 3v3 games. I know in the 3v3 tournament people did it, which was a little insane to watch, because I was like, ooh, kind of hurts. It it was just insane. Um, there's a lot of options. Honestly, someone else could do an opening for this that is completely different from all of these, and it would probably be just as good, if not more viable. This is one map I probably will have to go make like multiples of. So let's go put Team A, and we'll just explain what Team A just did briefly. Team A did map control through okay, we need to change that because that is going to be hard to read. I need to like change my angle, my posture. Okay. How about we just I really wish I could just like select all the words and just drag them over because I would just move through weapons. Team B is resource heavy. And arguably the resource heavy one is always a better option, or it's a safer route. Like, you always want to be the resource heavy person, because like if you have more resources to pump out troops, it doesn't really matter how many you're losing at a certain point, unless you're just like straight up losing them constantly. Just remember, part of the biggest thing about team games is just team cohesion. It's a lot like 3v3s can get a lot more confusing than 2v2s. 2v2s, you don't have to communicate all the time, and you guys will probably know exactly what the other player's doing. But for 3v3s, if you don't communicate at all, you kind of fall super far behind. I think it's all of the maps, actually. I think we've officially gone through every 1v1 map, everything. And I just want to do a quick run through of a 2v2 map that